I struggled to come up with something for tonight because almost everything I tried to do tonight failed. The first thing I was going to do was um, download an old browser like Opera 9.01 to run some of the old single player typing games I liked a lot, like highgames.net for instance, because I was told by a couple people on there that the only way to access those old games was to use an old browser like that, but that didn't work. The first time I tried to download it, I ended up going onto a site that had malware and I had to do a system restore, so I basically wasted an hour there. Then I managed to use a better download site that didn't have malware. I downloaded the browser just fine, but I went to highgames.net and it still had the same error, so I couldn't use that. I thought about doing some of the other sites and showing how to download some of the other applications, but I think I want to do all that together, so I just kind of gave up, and then it got pretty late. I decided I was going to possibly pivot to my Patreon, and I managed to type up the description for the Patreon, but I'm probably not going to read it for another couple days. I did not quite finish it. I was struggling trying to connect it to my Facebook account, and besides, there is a guy, Sam, who has been responding to a couple of my videos, who um, said he could make me a better banner if I wanted, so maybe I will wait a few more days, but I want to try and launch that by April 15th. I did write the description, and now all I really have to do is the pricing for the tiers. Um, and what I'm going to include in each tier. I'm thinking about, I'm going to do gold, bronze, and gold, silver, and bronze tiers, and I'm going to do either $2, $4, $6, or $2, $5, $10. I haven't decided which. I mean, the Patreon default is 5, 10, 15, and I think that's way too high unless you're like a household name maybe, but um, I'm definitely, whatever I do with the $2 tier, I'm definitely going to provide access to all chapters and just that for the $2 tier. It's just trying to figure out what kind of perks I want to offer for the higher tiers to make them even, and so each tier is fairly priced. I'm thinking I might mention all silver and gold tier members in every video that I make and mention the gold tier members in my book. I'm thinking about offering a signed book if I get a manuscript published conventionally, a signed copy for gold tier, and I want to offer the ability to like Todd in the Shadows, who is one of my favorite YouTubers, does on his Patreon. He releases every video he makes a day sooner to his Patreon subscribers, and I may do that for anybody who does silver or gold tier. And for gold tier, I may offer the ability to request certain videos, request me to do something specifically. Um, I don't know. What ideas do you have? And I also mentioned in that other video, of course, that I might anybody who uh, does a gold subscription with me and has a TypeRacer account, I might analyze um, their keystrokes, their fastest words, their fastest characters, and how that uh, compares contrasts with the regular data set. It would also provide me more data to perhaps more accurately determine what the fastest words are. But if you have ideas for what I should offer for these things and whether um, 2, 4, 6 would be better or 2, 5, 10, and I mean, I know I'm just going to offer the book chapters probably to the bronze tier, but I'm not sure how to make the how to price the silver and gold tiers and how to make them even enough so that it's worth it. Um, so if you have any ideas for that, that would be great. But anyway, I ended up like having a bunch of abortive projects tonight trying to figure out what sort of typing video I wanted to do. So, um, I'm just going to do something basic and simple and quick that will only last a few minutes here so I can go to bed quickly and like not risk wrecking my immune system and catching the coronavirus at work, which I still don't have, thankfully. So I calculated a few weeks ago, maybe it was a couple months ago even, what the 50 fastest words on the QWERTY keyboard were. These were the words that had the smallest, the largest difference between the average number of milliseconds it takes to type all the characters in the word and the average that each typist typed all characters in the data set. And as everybody already figured, the fastest word on the QWERTY keyboard is power, and the words on this screen are the 50 fastest words. And a couple of people already made tests out of it. I made one myself, although that was with, I did that earlier, and the words slightly changed from that point to this point. Not everybody has the same fastest words, and I'll go into that when I read my type racer metrics chapter or excerpts from it, which I'm planning on doing one of these days. But I'm going to try to only do chapter readings in front of a live audience with a scrolling chat. But just because this is something I can quickly mess around with now, the 50 fastest words on QWERTY, Mako actually got 255 words per minute, a perfect score on here because you cannot post a score higher than 255 on 10 fast fingers. It's a very binary kind of site. So I will try to see if I can do it. I got a 232 on my first attempt. I don't know that I can type 255 words per minute on something that long, although Mako isn't much of a burst typist either. He basically types like me, just 15 words per minute slower, so maybe I might be able to do it. I'll just fail, not fall. Of course it wasn't fall. Fall wouldn't be a fast word. That was terrible. I mean, 225 words per minute, but it was still terrible on these words. Wow. I really put the pressure on me once I recorded. I know. Foggy said he didn't even think these were the fastest words. They're all good. Although putting pressure on yourself to do 255 words per minute on them, that's hard for anyone. Might not be hard for Czech, or Terran, or Alpha Panda. Those three. That was 237. That did not feel like 237. That felt slow. I mean, again, these are the fastest words on QWERTY, so... Oh yeah, I gotta finish this to check. How fast do I have to do this in 255 words per minute? It's probably not going to happen because I'm probably too exhausted now. It's like already midnight almost. And I really should have been sleeping already. But I committed to doing a video a day, and I mean, this is not going to be a particularly impressive one compared to the other ones recently. Although I posted a lot of material, many hours. Wow, that was 2:48. Alright. So, oh, so 14 seconds. Alright. Let me do a character count specifically. Alright, so 255 words per minute is 1,275 characters per minute, and doing, so it'd be 286 divided by 1,275 times 60. Alright. Alright, so it's actually, but it should actually run to 13 seconds, not 14. So I want to do this in 13 seconds. Might be difficult. I'm on pace. No. I had it until that light error. Again. Mako's typing style is very similar to mine, just 15 words per minute slow. So if you got a 255, I should be able to. I do have to get lucky and not make any errors or stops at all. And 260, I did it, so I guess that might be it for the night. I know this wasn't as inspiring. All right, I'll make a couple attempts at going for Terran's type. Terran's. Oh, English leaderboard advanced. There's a new one. All right. Oh wow, a lot of people can do a lot better on this. Terran can do a lot better than 180. DeRoche could do a lot better than 190, I think, but he's off the site now, and has gotten off the internet even, and is just studying Scrabble words now. It's like he's trying to be me. Yes, Terran is now listed as the competition leader. Alright, I'll try and see if I can get that back. Oh, I'm not logged in. It's my notification force. Oh, unlocked. It's not something we have to verify. Okay. doesn't feel very fast. I mean, there are probably some you can't even get 217 on. It's just utterly random how easy hard the words are. Because it's entirely random. That's why I prefer things like typing Zone Honestly, where everybody types the same thing. Now that's how these competitions work, but everybody does not set records on the same thing. Oh yeah, anything with an X, that's going to kill you because X is the slowest letter. I mean, unless I type the X with a different finger, which Alpha Panda does. Once I get an error and that slip up, no way, I'm done. It might not even be 210, now it's not going to be 210, it's going to be like 203 probably. $200 even. I'm getting good at guessing. Oh wow, and somebody I've never heard of almost tied that. Oh. Oh no, I have heard of him, obviously. That's Foggy, alright. Foggy's gotten good. I've got to pummel harder, obviously, like this. Which is not fun to type like that, but I do want that back. There we go. And I'm already feeling worn out. Typing at your average will never hurt you. Trying to type way above your average will. I mean, Terran is faster than he always was, I guess, when it comes to top speed, and that's all that really matters on this site. Oh, missing on something so long is killing. I'm not even registering scores because I don't care about winning the competition. All I care about is the record. I'm curious, alright, how would I do on a regular 10 fast fingers test if I don't try to go fast at all? I certainly would not set records, but would I get 200 just doing this piddling stuff? What is my cruising speed on this? I don't actually know. Because I tend to bail because all I'm really interested in... Oh. I'm clearly blowing it now that I can't even do it without making errors. If I do this at a slow cruising speed, which is probably still like 180 words per minute or something. And I am still not getting anything. It's like I only have about 10 minutes I can do this anymore. Maybe it's just having gotten old and... Still would have failed on instant death mode, but 197, okay, so my cruising speed is about 200. I also did the hardest words. That's not a complete list, and it's changed since then, but those are indeed hard. My average was only 141. My best result was 173, but somebody beat that. Okay. I'm gonna look it up and do the 50 hardest words too. And do a test and just do that now because I want to have some content that will be interesting, and this was poised to be a very dull video because I was not prepared because what I was trying to do ended up failing. Here you can see my spreadsheet, which goes from the fastest words on QWERTY, same words you saw there, to the slowest. And I removed the typists who had Azerty, Colmac, and Dvorak. I have the fastest typist for the fastest words and slowest words for each typist too. You can see down the list. This is the number of milliseconds each word is faster for each typist and how many times they typed it in the data set. I required each person type a word 10 times for it to appear on a personal list and 50 times between the 13 QWERTY typists in the study to appear on the global list. As you can see, some people have more diversity than others. My fastest word was list. The second fastest word in the data set, I was only 20 milliseconds faster on that than the average word, but most people were much higher on their fastest words. They gained a lot more. Alpha Panda was 33 milliseconds faster on power than any other word, and you can see these. And some people have some weird words, like Michael DeRoche has think as his fast word, and things and thing up there too, even though none of those make the top 50. Same thing for Kathy. War does not appear in the top 50 either. Power and list were generally the fastest, though, and power was on almost everybody's top 10 list. But yeah, what I counted as a word was only lowercase words that appeared 50 or more times among the 13 QWERTY users in this study, and um, I only took results and data from each person's best race on each quote. I did it based on text best, so that is the number of this number here is the number of times each word appeared on 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 the fastest quotes for all the users combined. I did not do every single attempt. And X appeared in a couple of mathematical algebraic texts. X is the slowest letter on the QWERTY keyboard. That really doesn't count as a word to most people, and neither did DE, which appeared in a bunch of names, whatever, just something. I included I, I'd, L, I'm, and I've because they have no lowercase form and because they are so common, but I excluded all other uppercase words. It's no surprise all those words were towards the bottom. I'm going to throw X and DE out when I make this list, I think. Oh, and wait, this is the list I actually want because it doesn't include Matthias Scholl, who uses Azerty. So it starts with I, exact, L, I'm, and I'm going to make that test on 10 fast fingers right now. I actually want to do this vertically. That'll be faster. You can tell just by how jumpy and how many breaks there are in the sounds, how slow these words are. I think effect was the last one in the bottom 50. Oh no, not even close. It was absurd, right? 2773. No, that's 49, so there'll be 3 more after that. Research 15 excited, I guess. You can see how many repeat letters there are in that, and apostrophes and capitals and things. And the bottom left part, the left half of the bottom row is the slowest key on the keyboard, so you will see lots of X's and C's and V's on here. The only thing that isn't like that is jump, and that's because the J, U, and M are on the same column of the QWERTY keyboard. So yeah, those are the 50 slowest words, throwing out X and DE, which really aren't words. And the most average words were news and tonight. That's changed several times. One time I calculated the most average words as lovely and ears, but that changed somewhat. I like lovely ears better than news tonight for that. But okay, I'll make this a test. See, I mean, I did the first one in 13 seconds. I mean, these words are longer too, but I'm probably going to be half as fast on this, if even that. On my best one. Ugh. I typed the D in excited. I mean, I knew that wasn't there. 136 on my first attempt. I will try some more. This is something that makes even Random Racer look easy. Because these are things your fingers don't want to do, since it's like using the same finger multiple times in a row in almost every one of these words, or capital letters, or stuff like that. This might be slower. That's slower, I think. Oh no, it wasn't. I beat it by a little. 146. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody has another layout like Viper on Colmac would probably do much better on this. Still not a lot better, I think, because there are so many duplicate letters, and I mean, duplicate letters are slow for everything. I was gonna stop when I got 160, but I don't know that that'll happen. I'll stop when I get 150, or possibly even sooner, because I really should be in bed now. I guess 146 is what I'm going to max on this. I'm not sure these are even words you can slow down and do better on, because the motions are awkward whatever you do with them. That's why these could be very good words to practice, though. Because a lot of these will be the hardest motions you will see repeatedly. This might be a 150. Oh! Would have been had I not made a typo there. And that time the talking may have messed it up. Man, this stuff. Stopping at 150 was easier said than done. I wish it didn't show me the letters. I don't need to see them. It's a distraction. I'm going to guess Alpha Panda would be the fastest on this because of the way he types X's and C's by using his thumb, left thumb, which most people do not do. That would help a lot on this, I suspect. How long have I been at this? Is this... Alright, it's getting to be a long enough video. I really don't want to half-ass my videos and then I end up doing nothing else other than the videos of any consequence, including writing. I got the 150 despite making an error. I'm not going to try a 150 without an error. I will share that on the Discord before I go to bed. I think I'll do a couple random racer because somebody mentioned they like that until I get one right. Oh yeah. Stardom, there's a Scrabble player named John Stardom who likes to use that as his vodcast. Is that what I think it is? There's a separate word for a video podcast. I had seriously never seen that before. discussed this before. These are all words mostly all obscure. Participantly, I like that. Blockishness. That's for all you Tech Racer fans out there. But a long, long time ago, that bloke quote used to be the most popular quote because it was supposedly the fastest. It never really was, in my opinion. That's not that easy of a word to type. These words aren't that hard, though, despite a lot of them being obscure. Well, they're not obscure, mostly, actually. They're just derivatives of common words. This gives you some idea of what the English language is actually like and how much longer the average word is than people realize, and how few short words there really are in it. I'm not sure if Josh Castellano actually does osmose a lot of valid Scrabble words from this. Okay, perfect score. I will call it a night.